Hi, I'm Keith Bobrosky, President of Delta Scientific Corporation. I've been in the vehicle barrier industry since 2007, and today, to further Delta Scientific's pre-construction design series, I'd like to talk to you today about crash ratings of vehicle barriers. Delta Scientific offers many different vehicle barriers and all different crash ratings, but the explanation of those crash ratings is of paramount importance and is relatively simple, but can be quite confusing for a lot of new industry professionals. Since 1985, the Department of Defense has had a crash rating system that was updated in 2003, and these are known as K ratings. Now, all crash tests that we'll be talking about today use a 15,000-pound test vehicle. That's typically a medium-duty truck loaded to 15,000 pounds. The speed at which that vehicle travels and impacts the barrier is what differs most of the time. The K ratings are K4, K8, and K12. Again, all using a 15,000-pound crash truck, K4 being at 30 miles an hour at the time of impact, K8 at 40 miles an hour, and K12 at 50 miles an hour. Kind of a fun fact, the 4, 8, and 12 have to do with the number of foot-pounds of kinetic energy that vehicle barrier absorbs. K4 is 400,000 pounds, 8, 800,000. K12, 1.2 million foot-pounds of kinetic energy that vehicle barrier can absorb. Side note, Delta Scientific offers the world's only K54 rated vehicle barrier, the DSC 501. That unit will stop, that's right, 5.4 million foot-pounds of kinetic energy. So back to our crash ratings. Now the vehicle barrier needs to stop and render the vehicle immobile at those speeds. But penetration rating is a serious issue for designers to make sure you have the proper standoff distance from the vehicle barrier to your facility or protected target. The K ratings use penetration levels as L3, L2, and L1. L3 being the best penetration rating of 0 to about 3 feet. L2 would be 3 feet to 20 feet, and L1 would be 20 feet to 50 feet of penetration. Anything greater than 50 feet would not be given a DoD certified K rating. Now, gets a little tricky. In 2007, the DoD and DOS relented to the ASTM as a private sector crash test agency to start monitoring the crash ratings for vehicle barriers. They developed M-ratings, and you'll hear M30, M40, and M50, which are obviously that same 15,000-pound vehicle at 30, 40, and 50 miles an hour. Now the tricky thing here is these penetration ratings of the newer M ratings that are still in use today are P1, P2, and P3. Now they're backwards. L3 was the best and lowest number of feet of penetration at 3 feet or less, but P1 is the best M rating for 0 to 3.3 feet of penetration. Now sometimes, especially with Delta products, you'll see that the vehicle barrier achieved a negative penetration rating, and that would be that the vehicle impacted the barrier and actually bounced back and ricocheted a bit and pushed back off the barrier, or as you'll see in some crash test footage, the vehicle barrier penetration rating on the M ratings is measured from the front of the truck bed or the payload area. So if the vehicle crumple zone was not impacted or crushed completely to the truck bed, you'll have a negative penetration rating of 1 or 2 feet if that truck bed still has 1 or 2 feet to travel before it hits the leading edge of the barrier. Now continuing on, P2 crash rating penetration is about 3.3 to 23 feet of penetration. P3, which is usually for portable barriers, you'll notice the Delta Scientific portable line, a lot of times when it's not permanently installed in the ground, will have more of an absorption technology. You'll need a greater standoff distance, and that will be a P3 rating of 23 to about 98 feet. Anything over that 98-foot mark, give or take, is a P4 rating and typically would not be considered for an ASTM rating or used in any government or high threat security areas. Now, Delta Scientific sells most products and designs most products with these crash ratings in mind. Most military and government facilities will demand an M rating. However, many crowd protection lines like Delta Scientific's newest S barrier, the DSC-50, or the TB100 or the MP100 that are best for crowd protection are usually a lower budget design used for quicker deployment for non-military applications like farmers markets, stadiums, or school university type facilities. Those, since they're not permanently installed, will typically have a P3 crash rating. That's where you'll need greater standoff distance, or you'll need to look to a lesser crash rating if budget is a consideration and you're not going to be concerned with the speed and weight of a medium duty vehicle. SC30 ratings are great for passenger cars, which would be small car, a 2,400 pound car at 30 miles an hour. The DSC-50 S barrier is a perfect example of an SC30 crash rating that will stop and destroy in about 62 feet, a 2,400 pound vehicle at 30 miles an hour. Taking these crash ratings into consideration is of the utmost importance when designing your facility security layout. Take all these into account, and better yet, contact Delta Scientific today to talk to a real crash-rated professional project manager that can talk to you about your facility layout, come see your site, and offer their dozens of years experience in helping you select the right barrier for your application. Check out our website for more pre-construction design videos. And on our website, we have AutoCAD drawings that you architects can place right into your site layout of the different types of barriers that Delta Scientific has to offer. Like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching and have a great day.